Hey guys, it's Haley and welcome to another bookish video. Today's vlog, I'm going to be doing another author taste test and sampling 2 books from a popular thriller author. In this video, I'm going to be reading from J.P. Delaney. And I've already read 1 book by them and I really loved it. So I have super high hopes for this vlog. Let me sit you down and I'll give you some deets on the books. So my TBR for this reading vlog is going to be Believe Me and The Girl Before, both obviously by J.P. Delaney. And I've actually already started off with Believe Me because I got a lot of comments on my June TBR saying that this one was the worst of the 2. So I figured I would start with that so we could end on a positive note with The Girl Before if my tastes align with what you guys were saying in the comments. But I don't know if they will because honestly, I am loving this book so much. We are following a young college student from the UK and she's going to acting school at Pace University in New York City. So it's very atmospheric. I love the New York vibes. And while she's there, she's obviously struggling to get by. So she has kind of an unorthodox job. She actually works for a private investigator and tries to rope men into cheating on their wives, but she doesn't actually do anything with them. She just gets them to agree to it, gets it on camera, and then shows it to the wife so she has some kind of physical evidence to show in like divorce proceedings. So it's very interesting, and the book actually opens with a murder, like a dead body is discovered. So we're trying to figure out what the heck happened and how our girl, our main character, is connected to this murder. I am loving this book. I cannot remember the last time I've been a quarter of a way through a thriller and been this invested already. Honestly, I think it's mostly due to the quality of the audiobook. I'm listening to the audiobook as I'm reading along in the physical copy, and I am blown away. If you can access this audiobook through your library, through Libro FM, through whatever, you need to do it. Go run now and put this audiobook on hold because it is phenomenally done. Our main voice actor who voices our main character does like a million different accents. She is a phenomenal actor. There's also a full cast and tons of like special effects, like when they're in a cafe or like a hotel bar, there's like light piano music and chatter in the background, and then there's a full cast, so they are like having a conversation. It feels like a movie is playing in my head when I listen to this audiobook. It is so well done. I honestly don't think I've ever listened to a better audiobook. I can't rave enough about it. Please go listen to the audiobook. But I don't know if my enjoyment is mostly because of the quality of the audiobook rather than the story. Although I am really invested in the story, I kind of know at this point, I think, what part our main character has played in the murder, and I have a hunch about who the murderer is. So I'm excited to see if I'm right and to just keep listening to this audiobook because it is super fun and entertaining and just honestly really well done. So I'm excited to get further into Believe Me. And today I do have kind of a busy day. I'm looking professional. Right now I'm wearing a collared shirt because I'm about to see clients, and hopefully I will have a couple breaks in my day where I can listen to the audiobook during lunch or something like that. Hopefully I'll have an update for you soon at the 50% mark, or maybe you'll just see a ton of B-roll from random things I do today and I'll update you tomorrow. I don't really know. You'll find out in the next clip. Update, I had a break in clients, so I was reading more, and this has taken a turn. This is not just a murdery fun time now. There's a serial killer. and it's like a serial killer investigation. And honestly, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how I feel about it. Because to me, I'm like, oh, I know who the serial killer is. Obviously. I think, like, I thought that just the rest of the book was going to be trying to catch him. And our main character is like,
no, but he can't be. He's such a nice guy.
And I'm just like, shut up. Like, I'm really starting to hate our main character because she's an idiot. Like, she's really dumb. I like the serial killer plotline, but I don't like how our main character is reacting to it, is basically what I'm trying to say. So that's my 33% update, and I don't know when the next time I'll update you is, because this book is really fast paced and it's like flying by, so I'll just let you know when I know. I'm 2/3 of the way through, and this is not going well. Not at all. The mental health rep is horrible, so I cannot recommend this. As a therapist, I really cannot recommend this. Yeah, it's horrible. They're talking about disorders that I would never diagnose anyone with, and it's just so outlandish, and it is enforcing the stigma, and I'm on the edge of DNFing it. What a freaking arc for this book. It was,
what? So, now she's crashing and burning, so
I'm gonna force myself to finish this since it is for a video, and I do want to give you guys my full thoughts, but it's bad. Oh, what a ride this book has taken me on. I will update you when I'm finished. Hello vlog, it is the next day and I have an update for you. I just got back from the vet. Obviously you saw that in the B-roll before. I had to take the dogs to the vet this morning, so they are all curled up over there recovering from getting their shots and getting their nails done, and we found out that Mochi has yet another condition, so that was just hard to do. So it's not been a very fun morning for me or the dogs, but as you can see, I'm dressed kind of festively because I'm going on a picnic with some of my besties from my grad program, and I'm super excited. I'm sure you'll see B-roll of that. So yeah, that's kind of what I have going on today. But as for the book I was reading, I finished Believe Me last night after we got back from dinner with our friends, and
I don't know why this book was written.
that is the question that keeps standing out to me, is why was this book written? And I don't have an answer for that. There were just so many plot holes. I have never read a book with this many plot holes. It was absolutely ridiculous how meandering and weird the plot was, and how the twists were just random. Like, you'd think the story was going one way, and then, oh, nope, turns out it's going the other way, and then there would be a twist, and it's like, no, it was actually what you originally thought. It was just annoying to read, and nothing can compare to that first, third of the book. The first third was phenomenal, and then after that, it just went downhill so fast. I feel like J.P. Delaney did not have, an outline for how this book was gonna go, and they just kind of started writing, and they were like, okay, let's just go with it, and it just, ended up the way that it did, and I hated it. So I ended up rating this 1.5 stars. I was so hopeful at the beginning of this vlog. I was really so hopeful that I was gonna like this, and the audiobook really was phenomenal. Like, the actual voice actors and the sound effects and the cast and all of that. But the material they were reading, not so much. And another thing that really annoyed me about this book was the mental health rep. The only thing they got right was DBT, so dialectical behavior therapy, is used for some personality disorders and borderline bipolar eating disorders, things like that. So that was accurately represented in this book, but all of the other mental health discussions I felt were really problematic and inaccurate, especially around like a psychiatric hold. It just doesn't work like that. It doesn't feel like you're in an asylum anymore. That's a really outdated view of a psychiatric hold that is like against the person's will. So that was annoying to read about, and also just the way that personality disorders were talked about as if everyone fits into this diagnostic box, and that is just not true at all. And I don't personally in my own practice diagnose personality disorders. I just don't think that you need to do that. I think it brings in a lot of defensiveness, and I mean, I can see in some of my clients features of certain personality disorders, but I would never diagnose that or introduce a label or a stigma to someone's life where it's not needed. So I did not like the discussion around that in this book. 1.5 stars. I wish it would have been what the first third of the book was, but it just went off the rails, and I do not recommend this. And then also this morning, before we headed off to the vet, I got 25% of the way through The Girl Before, and this book is really interesting so far. I really like the concept. Basically, we're following the occupants of this house, and it's like a very special house. The architect is very particular about how people have to live in it. It's super high tech, super minimalist. It comes with a ton of different rules on the lease. If you move in, you like can't bring any of your own furniture. You can't have books, which I was like, I literally could not live there. You can't have pets. Like, there are so many rules to live in this place, but it's like this high-tech minimalist masterpiece. And it's also really affordable to live there because you have to abide by all these rules. So we're following two perspectives. One perspective is the female partner in a heterosexual couple who lived in this house before, and then we're also following this single woman who's living in the house after now in the present day that we're following. And our current perspective is trying to kind of figure out what happened in the past, and we're obviously getting to see that as we follow the past perspective as well. So far it's really good, really interesting. It's not feeling like a 5-star read, but it's definitely intriguing me. And I also thought it was interesting, there is more mental health talk in this book. In this book, it is a lot better than it was in Believe Me. There's one of our perspective experienced a huge trauma, and we're talking about how she is recovering from that in counseling, and they actually featured EMDR, which is one of my favorite and one of the best treatment for trauma. So I liked that inclusion, but other than that, not much to report so far. We're only a quarter of the way through, so I will update you when I'm at the 50% mark, and hopefully after this, you will enjoy some wonderful B-roll of me at the picnic. Hello vlog, I am here with another update for you, and surprise, it's actually gonna be the final update because I ended up speeding through The Girl Before. Maybe for a good reason, maybe not, I don't know. I'll let you be the judge of it. It was interesting. Like, I did really want to know what was happening, who was the killer, how this woman ended up dead so many years ago. So that is why I kept reading like super fast, speeding through. Also, the chapters are really short because I just really wanted to know. But in like probably the middle 50%, I was getting so bored and frustrated because it was so repetitive. So I was just like reading so fast because I needed to know what happened. Like, the story and the plot in itself was interesting, but the execution was just not it. It was so long and drawn out, and there were like weird subplots that didn't add anything to the story at all. Like, I don't really know why it was in there. Kind of similar to Believe Me, where I didn't know why some of it was in there. Like, it just seemed like extra weirdness that JP Delaney just like threw in there for I don't know what purpose, but I didn't enjoy that, and it made the story a lot longer and more confusing than it needed to be. So then when I finally got to the end, I was so excited to see this big twist and find out who the killer was. And it was such a letdown. I feel like it was such a cop-out. The end could have been so good, and I was really hoping that the end final twist was going to be good. Then it would have gotten like a 4-star for me. And because the ending was such a letdown and I was like really hooked and getting through all this like weird extra subplot stuff to try to get to the end and have that payoff, when the payoff wasn't there, I was like, okay, I have to rate this a lot lower than I thought it was going to. So it's a bummer. I ended up rating this book 2.5 out of 5 stars because I was invested and I did really like the beginning. It just seemed confused and meandering, a lot like Believe Me. A lot of the flaws in these books were really similar, and I didn't see that happening in Playing Nice, which was the other book that I've read by JP Delaney. I actually ended up giving that one 4.5 stars, so I really loved that one. And these two were just such a disappointment for me. Like, I feel like I know what JP Delaney was trying to go for with this one. Like, there was so much like moral dilemma type stuff, like, and I love that in a thriller, but it was just so forced and like overdone. Like, it just fell flat and I didn't like it, and I really wanted to like it. So that's the tea. We have a 1.5 and a 2.5 for this vlog. I don't really recommend you picking up either of these books. I'm sorry that this vlog was such a fail, but I mean, now you know, you don't waste your time reading these books like I did. And I'm sure when I eventually do my JP Delaney backlist ranking video, it's gonna be full of tea, because I am now super interested in how I will rate the last book by him that I've yet to read. I don't know how it's gonna go. I don't know, because I love Playing Nice, but these two I really didn't like. So maybe there's gonna be another one that I'll like. I don't know. Maybe I'll just be spilling tea and dragging this author that entire video, which I don't want to do, but also I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm gonna give you guys the truth, the real reviews. Don't waste your time reading these books. But thank you for wasting your time watching this video. If you made it all the way to the end, thanks so much. And if you ended up liking this video, go ahead and give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.